Good morning, my dear student. Welcome back to the online session number 2 of The Gentleman of the Jungle. So now, in our last class, we have discussed about Jomo Kenyatta, who was considered to be the founding father of Kenya, the way that he struggled in order to get independence for the Kenya people, because European powers started to dominate Africans. So let us get into the text. Once upon a time, an elephant made a friendship with a man. So you have to understand that it's not saying that one day, once upon a time, sometime. Whenever your granny starts to explain or whenever your granny starts to narrate a story, she says once upon a time. So in a similar way, we see that the chapter starts with once upon a time. An elephant made a friendship with a man. So remember, as I've already told you, it's a fable. Fable means to say animals play major role. So an elephant is making a friendship towards the man. Is it possible in our real life? Some animal coming and extending its friendship towards us? No. So here, it's considered to be as a fable and allegory. So as we go ahead, I'll let you know the meaning of it, exactly what actually it is in our present text. Once upon a time, an elephant made a friendship with a man. One day, a heavy thunderstorm broke out. The elephant went to his friend who had a little hut at the edge of the forest and said to him, "My dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut to keep it out of this torrential rain?" So here, the elephant has gone and it has extended its friendship towards man. So the story is not stopping there, it's continuing from there. One day, what happened one day? It was raining heavily, thunderstorm, a storm with thunder and lightning. So, when there was a heavy thunderstorm broke out, the elephant went to his friend. Who is this friend? Man. So he went to the man. What did he have? This man had hut at the edge of the forest. Now elephant is requesting something to a man. My dear good man. It's not saying my dear bad man, worst man. Look at the way that the elephant is treating man at the beginning. My dear good man, will you please? So do you think so that by placing only my trunk, my entire body would be covered? No. Here, the elephant is making a request. Can I please put in my trunk inside your hut in order to prevent from this torrential rain, heavy rain? Please. So, the thing that you have to understand here is the European here, as we have already seen in the introductory class, European means to say, or European is represented by elephant or all the animals here in this text. That's the European power. Animals in general in this chapter represents European people. Man is a symbol of native Africans. So the man who is alone, who has got a hut at the edge of the forest, the man is representing the entire African people. The hut, it is at the edge of the forest, represents the natural resources of African people. And about the lion we'll see later. But remember, Elephant or the animals represent Europeans. Man is representing the entire Africa. Hut means to say the natural resources of the African people. The man, seeing what situation his friend was in, replied, "My dear good man, my heart is very small, but there is room for your trunk and myself. Please put your trunk in gently." What did the man do? The man looked at the situation of his friend. That's the elephant. In other words, Europeans. So, the man replied, "My dear good man." Look at the way of the attitude of African people. They believed Europeans blindly. My dear good man. What does the word good says? Something which is very, very, very good. My dear good elephant. The man says that his heart is small, but definitely there is a room for you. And you can place your trunk in, and even I can stay in the same hut. Please put in your trunk gently. Gently mean it's not a house, it's a hut. Gently mean to say, if it's not gentle while it is putting its trunk in, anything may happen for the hut. So put in your trunk gently. The elephant thanked his friend, saying, "You have done me a good deed, and one day I shall return your kindness." So elephant says, the elephant is thanking the man. Who? You have done a good deed. Definitely it's a good deed according to us. You've done a good deed. One day I shall return your kindness. A day would come for me where I will, return your kindness. But what followed? As soon as the elephant put his trunk inside the hut, slowly he pushed his head inside and finally flung the man out in the rain, and then laid down comfortably inside his friend's hut, saying, "My dear good friend, your skin is harder than mine. As there is not enough room for both of us, you can afford to remain in the rain while I am protecting my delicate skin from the hailstorm." The previous paragraph we saw that the elephant is so kind. The elephant was pleading towards the man, "Can I please put in my trunk? It's raining heavily, please." What did the man do? He said, "Okay, but put in gently." The elephant went on to put its trunk inside the hut slowly. Now we can see that first it placed its trunk. The trunk is followed by the head. Now the head is followed by the entire body. Elephant is inside the hut and it threw the man out. What does it mean? As I've already told you, animals represent Europeans, man is representing Africa people, hut is representing the natural resource. This is what they did. The European chiefs asked the African chiefs to sign the treaty. The hut represents the natural resource. So the land which belonged to the Africans was occupied by the Europeans. They kicked the Africans or the people of Africa out from their own land, which was traditionally owned by them and which they cultivated too. So, in the name of friendship, they betrayed African people. So, the European or the elephant flung the man out in the rain, and it is sitting there comfortably as if it's its own house, as the resources belong to the Europeans. It's not only sitting comfortably, plus it says something. What does it say? My dear good friend, your skin, whose skin? The man's skin is harder. Mine is delicate. Look at the way. Whose skin is actually delicate? Is it the man's skin or is it the elephant's skin? Look at the justification which is being given by the elephant. My dear good friend, your skin is harder than mine. And as there is not enough room for both of us. Hut belonged to man. When elephant asked, can I put in my trunk? Man said, yes, there is a space for your trunk and for myself. Now look at the way that the elephant is saying, there is no space for both of us. So you remain outside. I am comfortably sitting here because my skin is delicate. As you can afford to remain in the rain while I am protecting my delicate skin from the hailstorm. So elephant says that I am protecting my skin from this hailstorm. You can remain there. You can stay there. Now, the man seeing what his friend had done to him started to grumble. The animals in the nearby forest heard the noise and came to see what was the matter. So, we see that the man seeing what his friend has done started to grumble. Grumble is, speaking in a soft voice. When the other animals heard this, they wanted to see what actually has happened. All stood around listening to the heated argument between the man and his friend, the elephant. In this turmoil, the lion came along roaring and said in a loud voice, don't you all know that I am the king of the jungle? How dare anyone disturb the peace of my kingdom? So there was a kind of an argument between the elephant and the man. So as the conversation was going on, we see that listening to this heated arguments or hearing to this heated argument, the other animals came in and they were discussing. And this was heard by the lion. Lion, normally as you know, is considered to be the king of the jungle, came and with his roaring voice said, don't you all know that I am the king of the jungle? Is it required for the lion to announce that I am the king of the jungle? But it does. How dare anyone disturb the peace of my kingdom? Who is disturbing the peace? It's the elephant. Turmoil means a state of great disturbance or a confusion. So, the lion wants peace in its kingdom. So, what actually the lion here in this chapter represents? The lion in this chapter represents the Queen of England. So, my dear students, I am going to wind up my second session here today. Before I wind it up, let us just brush up whatever we have studied in this session. The thing that you have to remember here is Europeans mean to say elephant, the power of European people. Man is a symbol of our native Africans. Hut is the natural resources of African people. Lion here represent the Queen of England. So remember another thing, it's an allegory, mean a story within a story, and it is also considered to be as a fable. Let us continue our chapter in our next session. Thank you.